There's 7 things. Why 7 points? Because I've been studying Babylonian history, and 7 is a Babylonian number. So, and also it's good marketing. Anyway, 7 points that characterize our modern world that our educational system can't grasp. The first one, and that was the center of the Black Swan, is concentration. Winner-take-all effects. How? If you have an island, you take an island, it would have a lot of species, but it would have much higher densities of species per square meter than a continent. You open up, you're going to have fewer species because some of them will win. We had that in cultural life. The Beatles, Harry Potter, now everybody reads the same book. You can't make a living as an author now because a few authors make most of the money, particularly in a non-fiction, in a fiction space, because either you sell 20 million or you work for Starbucks. Unless you boycott Starbucks, in which case you can work for other places. I boycott Starbucks personally. So anyway, so that's and that causes winner-take-all effects. Opera singers could make a living because there was no audiovisual, and of course, today, or as of 2000, 10 opera singers made most of the income of all opera singers. Okay, so, and that concentration is okay so long as the road from college dorms to Google remains as short as the road from Google's to college dorms. And that was the case. We saw what happened. Alta Vista disappeared in how many? 12 minutes, right? Was replaced by Google. Nothing is replacing Google. Why? Because it's getting sticky at the top, and that's unhealthy. The process of concentration in itself is not unhealthy. This market mechanism. What is unhealthy is when people become powerful. And what do we have now? It's technofudalism. So that's my first point on concentration. Now it applies to a lot of things. Example, viruses. It took about a week for COVID to dominate the planet. Okay, to reach, one convention in Chicago, can redistribute, across the whole planet. The Bubonic Plague took 330 years to go from what's Istanbul now to the north of England. You see, and of course never reached the Americas because we didn't have the same connectivity. Now, connectivity is not a problem. It's only a problem if you have an archaic textbook understanding of our, economic and social, cultural, and biological life. See? So we got to, and it is pathological, of course, if it's sticky. When I wrote Skin in the Game, I think I looked at the data, and the Forbes billionaires, you had about, I think, only 10% of the families were there 30 years, later. I mean, up till 2010, I think. In Europe, it's a reverse. And it looks like we're going to be more like Europe, but with even more concentration and more technological. So that's point one.